Hello and welcome to another Overlord lore video, and today we are going to take a look at one of the weirdest dwarves in the entirety of the dwarf kingdom, Gondo Firebeard. But before we are going to do so, let me thank my Patreons for supporting this channel. Furthermore, I say thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. Now with that said, let's start with the reason for why Gondo Firebeard is seen as weird, because he is about the only dwarf in the entire realm who doesn't drink alcohol, which is something odd, especially to the dwarves, because not only are alcoholic beverages part of their culture, but the dwarf civilization is in decline and has been so for centuries. And that's also why about everyone is drinking, even at work, even in a dangerous work environment, like the mines the dwarves labor in order to gain their valuable ores and metals. Now, speaking about being in decline, the dwarves were about and now actually have lost some of their most ancient culture, the rune magic, for this craft had been neglected for decades if not centuries already, in favor of the more recent tier magic. This is not to say that runecraft has to be wild magic by default, for runes were also part of the Norse mythology, and Yggdrasil Online was based on it, down to the very game's name. But nonetheless, tier magic based enchantments have surpassed and largely replaced runecraft based enchantments for weapons and armor. But anyway, Gondo Firebeard isn't content with seeing his civilization and heritage wither and die, for he tried to follow into the footsteps of his much more proficient father, for he was a great and widely recognized runesmith, far greater than Gondo is, and possibly can even hope to be. Nonetheless, Gondo was one of the last dwarves runesmith to actually pursue their craft with a passion, wanting to see it revived, for he swore to do so on his father's deathbed. And despite lacking any natural talent for runecraft, he nonetheless was willing to do anything to see this craft survive and once again blossom. And he invested every single spare minute into it, going so far as to work in the dangerous mines and abstain from purchasing any alcohol, therefore foregoing much of the social interactions, which again was seen as very weird by dwarven standards. And working in the mines of the dwarves is also quite dangerous and oftentimes detrimental for the own health. For the dusty working conditions also meant that the lungs of the dwarves working underground would degrade over time, just like the human workers in the year 2138 would suffer from a variety of lung-affiliated illnesses due to the toxic polluted air they are forced to breathe. This led to a condition known to the dwarves as white snow sickness, because sooner or later the dwarves affected by it will have trouble breathing and their skin will turn pale and white, a sign of the lack of oxygen due to diminished lung function. This is also the reason why Gondo Firebeard's outfit looks so much like that of a miner, because once again he quite literally is one. Nonetheless, Gondo was willing to endure all of this in order to revive runecraft, and once he met Ainz Ooal Gown, he was even willing to sell his soul to the Sorcerer King if runecraft could just be revived by the magic caster. And once it became clear that the dwarf kingdom was willing to abandon the runesmiths entirely without barely any resistance, Gondo also acquired the craftsman book of the ancient dwarven runesmiths left in Feoberkana's treasury vault. And with that said, Gondo Firebeard, while just being a minor character, is actually one of my absolute favorites in the entirety of Overlord, and the anime has luckily actually taken its time to portray Gondo's struggle and his attachment to runecraft and his wish to see it revived. And I said it before and I say it again, to me it was truly a sad moment watching Gondo realize how little his struggle meant to the wider dwarven kingdom and how easily the runesmiths were abandoned by the Regency Council. Now, to end on a more light-hearted note, am I the only one who constantly mixes Gondo Firebeard, who has a brown beard, and the commander of the military, who has a red beard? I mean, I can't be the only one, right? Again, let me know all of this down in the comment section, along with your own opinions about the dwarf. And with that said, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Bad Girl Ye, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Duckwagon, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Ferran Shivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Normal Toad, Oakhill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantom, Personage, Primus 11, Q&A Care Cos P, Shagox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rocket Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm and Sonnegon. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon under my next video.